Hi, good everyone. My name is Ahmad Firdaus bin Idrus. Today I'll be presenting the Advanced Research Methodology. The course code is HVX8001 and the candidate name is Ahmad Firdaus bin Idrus. So this is a field of research in the social and behavioral science, in bracket political science and civics. So the title is Maritime Security and Cyber Resilience, a political economy analysis of Malaysia's naval modernization in the context of Southeast Asian geopolitics and defense policy. Now, I've divided this presentation into 7 parts. The first part is introduction, part 2 is research design and timeline, part 3 is the case studies, part 4 is the expected results, part 5, the significance of studies, part 6, the conclusion and recommendation, and part 7 is the bibliography. So we're going to the part 1 now, that is the introduction. There's also 3 subsections here. The first one is the overview of Malaysia's strategic position, and then introduction to the studies focus, and then the relevance in the current geopolitical context. So we're going to the first part, the overview of the Malaysia strategic position and the significance of it in Southeast Asia. We can see the heat map here. This is Malaysia located in the crossroads of major maritime routes connecting the Indian Oceans and also the Pacific Ocean. And the proximity to Straits of Malacca, one of the world's busiest maritime trade routes, showing the geopolitical significance in the regional security, trades, and diplomacy within the Southeast Asia. It is the busiest strait in the world, with some 100,000 over vessels plying through it every year. So this is with estimated 25% of the world's trade passes uh, in the year. So it is well understood in the political spectrum that he who have control of the Malacca Strait might as well have control of the stability in the Southeast Asia. The part 2 here is the focus of the study. I've divided them into 3 parts. The first one is naval modernization. This is to analyze Malaysia initiative to upgrade its naval capabilities in response to the evolving maritime threats and challenges. Second one is the maritime security, that exploring Malaysia's strategies and policies to safeguard its maritime interests, including the territorial integrity and the maritime trade. And the third is cyber resilience. This assessing the integration of cyber security measures in naval and maritime operation to counteract the growing cyber threats. And the third is the relevance in the current geopolitical context. Here's some chart that showing the incident count by type in Southeast Asia for the year 2019 until 2021. We can see that the robbery has some numbers here up to 50%, and then the boarding, and then also the approach and kidnapping, and then the attempted attack. So the relevance here is because the rising tension in the Southeast China Sea and the importance of the naval strength in the regional power dynamics. So, and also the increasing incident of cyber attacks on maritime infrastructure, highlighting the need for robust cyber resilience. So Malaysia's role in shaping Southeast maritime security architecture amidst the changing global power structures is really crucial. We're coming to the part 2, that is the research design. So I have divided 4 subsections in research design. The first one to explain the methods approach, and then the second is data collection methods. The third is the description of the analytical framework for political economy analysis, and the fourth is the research timeline in the Gantt chart form. So the first part on the research design is the mixed method approach by combining the qualitative and quantitative analysis. Qualitative analysis will focus on the understanding of the context, the motivation, the perspective behind Malaysia naval modernization, and the maritime security strategies. So it involves interpreting text, speeches, a policy document, and also interview response. And the quantitative analysis will involve the use of statistical tools to analyze numerical data such as defense spendings, naval capabilities, cyber incidents, and regional security trends. This method provides an empirical evidence to support or challenge the qualitative findings. And the data collection methods, the data collection method will consist of three part, that is document analysis, interview, and the case studies. And we're coming to the research design part, that is the analytical framework for political economy and analysis. So this is by doing two things: developing a comprehensive framework, integrating the political economy, strategics, economic dimension to understand the multifaceted nature of the naval modernization. And then the second one is the application in the naval modernization itself. So here is the fourth subsection in the part two, that is the research timeline in the Gantt chart. So I've started lay out the plan here, the project initiation. This will take about 150 days. And then literature review, about 90 days or 3 months approximately, followed by the data collection, data analysis, and first draft completion, and then peer review and feedback, and then the final draft presentation, and then the thesis submission. So after that, there are going to be the defense preparation and defense itself, and then followed by the final revision and resubmissions. So that accounted for about 3 years' time, the planned, let's see, and hoped it will happen. And part three here, I will present the case studies. So I have selected three case studies here to be presented. The first one is defense white paper. And the second one is the emerging risk in the marine transportation. The third one is the response to the emerging threats. On the Malaysia's defense white paper, they are of the strategic importance because of itself being the official document defining the Malaysia's defense strategy and response to the regional security challenges. And then in defense white papers also discuss the naval enhancements priorities that focus on acquiring advanced maritime asset, enhancing surveillance, and cyber defense capabilities. And then it also covers the drivers of modernization. So here are the current asset in the Royal Malaysian Navy, the current fleet that they have. This here is the type of class, the type of ship that they have, the combat ship, the patrol ship, and then the support ship, and also submarine. As everyone can see here, everything is dated except maybe for the Kedah class, another petrol vessel that is about 9 years as of 2022, meaning about 12 to 13 years. The other is the Perdana Menteri class submarine that is also about 12 to 13 years or 9 years as of 2020. But the rest is, you guys can see, as everyone can see, is even up to 51 years, 46 years. That is totally old actually, because the United States average about 15 years old for their defense asset. Another case studies is on the emerging risk in the maritime transportation. This covers in the diverse threat landscape. The source is International Maritime Bureau, IMB. There are traditional threats, for example, the 135 piracy incident in 2021, and then the emerging threats like cyber attacks in the maritime sector increased by 400% from 2017 until 2020. Another things that covered in the emerging threats, the cyber resilience in the maritime security, and also the response to the emerging threats. So here a photo of the crew member that monitored the radar screens in the Combat Information Center on board the guided missile cruise of the USS Vincennes, for example. And the third case studies that planned is the ASEAN Political Security Community. So this is the role of the Asian Political Security Community, APSC, is to establish a framework for ensuring peace, stability, and security in the Southeast Asia. However, there are challenges and prospects for regional security cooperation. The challenge is the diverse political system and varying threat perception among the members of Asian countries. And then the prospect is also the growth on the multilateralism and collective security in the region. And then we come into the part four, that is the expected result. In the timeline, the expected result is that I have concluded three expected result. That is the understanding of Malaysia's naval modernization needs, which the detailed analysis of the drivers behind Malaysia's decision to modernize the naval forces, and then insights into the cyber resilience in maritime security. This will cover the in-depth understanding of the role and significance of cyber resilience in the maritime security strategies. We will assess the Malaysia's current cyber defense capability within its naval forces. And then the third one is the assessment of the regional implications, evaluation on how Malaysian naval modernization impacts the balance of power and security in the dynamics in the Southeast Asia. And the part five is the significance of studies. This will contribute to academic literature in maritime security, cyber resilience, and the political economy. Second one, it is having the potential impact on policy discussion and the strategic planning in the Southeast Asia. And the third one, enhance the understanding of the interplay between national defense strategies and the regional security dynamics. We have here is like yeah, that's the expand competitive space, the strengthen ally and partners, reform the department, build more little forces, and they have the overlapping like accelerate the cyber cycle of innovation, interoperability, revitalize alliance and new partners, and creating creative operating concepts. So that's the significance of the studies is expected to that. And the part six is the last part actually, that is the conclusion and the recommendations, that is in three subdivision, that is synthesis of key findings, recommendation for policymakers and strategies, and the importance of the ongoing research and monitoring. The synthesis of key finding is that Malaysia naval modernization is driven by a blend of strategic, political, and economic factors that reflecting both national imperative and regional dynamics. So Malaysia's role within the Asian and its contribution to the maritime security are pivotal in shaping the Southeast Asian geopolitics and collective defense strategies. So image here is the Royal Nation Navy of fleet, that is KD Kedah, the petrol vessel that I have mentioned earlier. And the recommendation also, part of the conclusion is that this recommendation for the policy makers and strategies. So it can develop the holistic maritime security strategies that integrate cyber resilience and address the full spectrum of traditional and non-traditional threat. And also invest in regional cooperative framework and confidence building measure to enhance the collective security and manage the regional tensions, especially in disputed powers. In the disputed waters. And the third conclusion and recommendation is that the importance of ongoing research and monitoring. This emphasizes the necessity for the continuous research and monitoring in the maritime security to adapt to the rapidly changing geopolitical and technological landscapes. It encouraged the collaboration research initiative and information sharing among the Asian countries and foster the unified approach to regional maritime challenges. Another things that I like to say is that it will advocate for policy adaptations and reforms based on the emerging trends and threat assessment in the maritime domains. Well, that's it. That's the end of the presentation. The next slide is just the bibliography for the research methodology. That's it. Thank you, everyone. That's the end of it.